All right, welcome back to Breakfast Television. Well, Expos fans, baseball fans, there is hope that a team is going to return. And let's talk about that, because a real clear indication that perhaps a team is coming sooner than later is the launch of a new fan survey. William Jegher joins us now, partner at EY. Good morning, William.
Good morning, Elias. How are you?
Listen, you work with that group. You know, Stephen Bronfman, a whole bunch of partners. It's very well known now. They're working on this project to bring a team back. You work with them. You've just launched this survey. What does the launch of this survey tell us about the progress of a team coming back?
Well, really, the launch of the survey is truly to sound fan engagement and fan interest in different elements of the project. We felt that it was important to solicit people's opinions on different things. Ballpark experience is crucial, and up until now, all we had were, frankly, assumptions, and really what we wanted to do was bonify these assumptions by going out and getting actual data. What does it say about the progress? Doesn't mean we're necessarily closer. It just means that we're getting ready. We've been told, be ready, and so we're going to get ready and build that file as best as we can.
You had tweeted this out a day or so ago that the first day response was phenomenal. You got 4,200 responses. What can you tell us so far about how the response has been and what you're seeing from fans?
So frankly, that first day of 4,200 was a number that I don't think any of us expected. When we launched the focus groups on the first day, we had, I think, 700 people that signed up for focus groups, which also was fantastic. As of last night, we blew through the 12,000 mark as far as people,
wow,
number of people that have completed the survey, and that's far beyond our wildest expectations. And they're still, we're only 3 days in.
Can you, for the audience that's watching us now, I know some people are skeptical. People love to talk to me about the Expos. Some people say, I can't wait till they come back. Some people are like, they're never coming back. They still think it's a pipe dream. What's your estimation here? What can you say to people about Montreal as a real market for baseball, despite, you know, maybe we have some memories of bad crowds in the last few seasons?
Right. So the truth of the matter is, the favorite stat that I like to quote is Montreal is the largest market in North America without a professional baseball team.
Mm-hmm. By far.
By far.
Yeah.
We're a metropolitan population of 4 million people. We definitely have the population to support several professional sports teams, including a Major League Baseball team. If you do the business model right, you build a ballpark in the right location, you can make this work. And it's really about understanding the business model, building the ballpark in the right location. And the survey, frankly, is all about understanding the business model.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's talk about that, because that survey, the stuff about this stadium, which is so interesting. You see it there on your screen. Some of this survey that you take, you show some visuals from stadiums around the league, the different types of seating they had. It's really changed, right? I mean, one of the things about the Expos, they never played a home game in a proper baseball stadium. So you're trying to gauge interest on what kind of seats fans would want to have in this stadium, right?
Absolutely, and you hit on a great point. If you've never been to another city and seen baseball in another city, you don't really understand what it's like to truly experience a Major League Baseball game at a beautiful outdoor stadium. And in fact, today, baseball has become about the experience, not just in the ballpark, but outside the ballpark. And the idea is to create really this mixed-use environment where you go to the game, you go to a bar, you go to a restaurant, you have all sorts of activities for kids all around, in and around the stadium, even inside the stadium, and you create this entire sort of game day experience where sometimes the baseball game even becomes besides the point. You just sort of end your evening at the ball game, and everything else is about the experience. So the seating options that we're testing out, for example, are all these different patio boxes and patio seats. Sometimes there aren't even seats. There's tables that you can just put your beer on and lean and watch a ball game in the outfield, in the bleachers. Different pricing options. The experiences today at ballparks across North America is vast. And so we didn't want to just build a bowl with seats in it. We wanted to truly understand what are people looking for in this market, especially those that don't necessarily understand. Even if they had just experienced Olympic Stadium, they wouldn't understand what's out there. So testing different premium options, different funky, fun things that you can do, that's exactly our intention.
One of the interesting questions on this survey, and we've got this big, beautiful Expos logo, greatest sports logo of all time, in my humble opinion. You asked the question, though, you know, how important is it that when the team comes back, that brand, Expos, is part of that? Was that just to sort of find out if what your assumption is, that everyone wants Expos back, is true? Like, what's the meaning behind that question?
So again, up until now, we've only ever had assumptions, and it could be in relation to numbers. Whereas we're a very analytically minded group. We're not looking at necessarily going on gut. When you're going to do a project of this nature,
when you spend so much money, you got to make sure you have some data to back it up.
Correct. Of this magnitude, you want to make sure that you're embarking onto something that actually makes sense from a financial perspective, from a strategic perspective. So testing the brand, for example, is, I mean, we think people love the brand, but how do we really know? It's just a gut feeling. So actually going out and gathering data on the brand, that's exactly our intention.
We don't have much time, but as you see it, what is the next step, logically? What's the next step for Stephen Bronfman and the rest of the partners moving forward on this project after the survey?
So, in fact, there's a lot of things to be done. We have a lot of work still to do on ballpark design, securing land. We have some stuff to do on the financial side, so building up our financial model, taking the results of this survey, analyzing it, and then, asking ourselves that so what question. So we gathered all this data. Now what? What does it all mean? And how do we reconcile all of it and actually bring forth an experience that's going to make everyone happy?
Really interesting dossier. Expansion, relocation, so many things that could happen. William Jegher, partner at EY. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Come back real soon when we get another update, and we'll tweet out and Facebook the link to that survey later this morning. Come back. We'll be back with your news headlines.